Okay, so welcome everyone to week 2. Only one more after this week. So, is there anyone who doesn't have a heat tonight, by the way? Are we all good? No, you do have one. Yeah, we got you on there late. So, yeah, all good. So, yeah, week 2. Doesn't matter, you know, if last week you went fast or slow. If you're short, you're tall. You're feeling fit, you know, whatever. At the end of the day, it's night, okay? So yeah, just so obviously it's a long weekend. That just got announced by the government a few days ago. So just make sure if you are looking to redo or spread the word within your faction, 8 o'clock. Well, you can come, but you won't be doing. It's not even the open workout for the 8 o'clock class. So 9 o'clock, if you're looking to redo or whatever, or do for the first time, make sure you are signed up as we would for a Friday Night Lights, okay? And so other little logistical thing, scorecards, just make sure they go, Ben, come out here, mate. Okay, right now. Yeah, may as well. Yeah, we'll probably have a few questions, I'll go through it now.
I'm not doing fasting tonight, that's fast.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not doing the one. No. Okay, no worries. All good. So with the scorecards, it's a bit of a different scoring system this year. So you, a judging system. So whoever judges you, you can just put their name down, and then the judge can tick if they've done the judge's course or not. It's just a different verification process. So yeah, don't worry about it. It's easy. But with your scorecards, just make sure they go, there's a little pile of them already under where the clock is. Just leave them there. Try not to like, oh yeah, I left my scorecard like under the toilet seat in the, you know, seconds cubicle and stuff. Like, what were my splits? Like, yeah, none of that, thanks. Just put them all in the one spot. Make sure they're sort of filled out correctly. And the other thing is, like, we do this week more so than last week. There's a lot different categories, different weights. The burpee standard, well, the burpee standard does change, but with the barbell mainly, there are a lot of different weights. So it's not, you know, Jimmy Blogs down the road job to know the weights. It's your job to know the weight, what weight you're meant to be using, and also make sure it's on there. So from heat to heat, it will change a little bit. We don't have like an all girls lane, all boys lane. It's sort of changing a little bit. So just know your weight, and then yeah, just make sure that correct one is on. We don't want to have to, 30 seconds left, someone tell you that you'll need to start all over again. Okay, so we're going to cover a couple of the standards, so we are pretty much into it. So with the deadlift, so this workout's going to begin, like there'll be our barbell, and then the line will be sort of dissecting the bar. You must start behind your barbell, sort of like last week you started behind the line. 3, 2, 1, go. And then we'll head over to our barbell. All we need to do for that first rep is pick it up and stand tall. So everything's locked out. Knees are locked out, hips are locked out, shoulders behind the line. So there's little things that can happen here with your lockout which can be hard to spot, but the easiest thing to look for is just everything straight. So if your hips aren't locked out, it'll look like this. You can see my hips aren't quite locked out. If my knees aren't quite locked out, it'll look like this, my knees, or it could be a little bit of both, okay? So easiest way is to squeeze your butt, squeeze your quads at the top. You know, if you squeeze your quads really hard, your leg straightens, okay? So yeah, just gotta squeeze it all, and then you will lock out at the top. So that's our standard there. As we go through the reps, our arm angle or the elbow position must remain the same. So we can't like bounce that bar off the ground. Arms to remain straight, controlled, touch and go. So if there's bend through the arm, that's no rep 2, okay? So you got to sort of, remain, keep tension throughout the arm as we go. The other point I wrote on the deadlift, you can't have assistance with the barbell either. So if you're just going full send and the bar rolls away, you have to bring it back, okay? You can't have little helpers that are just putting it back in the position for you, okay? So any coaches have anything that I missed there with the deadlift? All good? Sweet, yeah. Oh, the barbell must start from the ground. I don't know what else is meant to happen, but yeah. In case you've somehow got the ability to, Area 51 apparently do have some technology that anti-gravity, but they haven't released it yet. So hopefully they do soon. All right, so our burpee, we've got chest. So yeah, pretty standard, like sort of like last week, or deadlift. Do these movements sort of all the time, so it should be pretty familiar. So with our burpee, you can get down however you want. You can step down, you can jump down, you can backflip down, whatever you want. So we get down on the ground. My head must be behind the line though, so you can't do the old sneaky peekaboo. Eyes over the line, you must be behind the bar. Chest and thighs on the ground. Then you can get up any way you want. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You don't have to get up, you can just stay down, I suppose, and just wait till the 10 minutes elapses. So then we're going to jump over the bar, okay? So we jump over, and then we're on to the other side. So they've got sort of a new rule in, and hope I'm not going to get tough questions here because I'm not really sure I'll be able to answer them, but you can either jump with 2 feet or jump with 1 foot, which I don't really understand. But that's what they're going with. But I think the easiest way is if you jump unevenly, it's sort of like, it looks like a bit more like a jump, like, that looks like a jump. But when 1 foot is over the bar and the other one's still on the ground, that's a hop, see? I don't know. So, yeah, it's a jump over the bar. Feet don't have to leave the ground at the same time. Feet don't have to land at the same time. It just has to be a jump. If you touch the bar with your jump, it's all good, but you have to do the rep again. So you have to go back down for the burpee, not just the jump. You have to do the burpee again. So, do the burpee again. So, don't touch. Do not touch. Okay, so questions on either the don't get offered questions for the deadlift, questions for the deadlift or burpee standards.
Yeah, can you just dump it or do you have to?
No, you can just dump it. That's fine. Yeah, just obviously once you've locked out, you can dump it. All good. Any other burpee questions or deadlift questions? Cool. And obviously, if stuff's going crazy or whatever, we'll have the captains around. We're trying to look out for people's well-being more so than their scores, but just remember, like, sometimes it's easy to get carried away or distracted, but as that person counting, just count their reps or let them know what they sort of need to get. You don't need to sort of be giving them form advice, okay? It's too much, it's a lot to worry about trying to do all that. Just make sure you've got the main job under control. We'll be sort of around trying to help them out as best we can, okay? So, but that's probably a good pointer before we start going into the actual, some tips and tricks about this workout. Like, it'll be a pretty tough effort trying to get this done, but there's potentially like 100 deadlifts here, which is a lot, no matter who you are. So just, when you're selecting your weight, if you are going the prescribed weight, or even if the modified weight is challenging, just like a normal class, like just make sure you focus on moving well and being safe. It's not just like, because it's tonight, throw my spine to the wind and like, let's just go. I'll worry about, my back problems tomorrow. Let's just be smart, okay? It's just another workout. Don't go too crazy. I think so. A safety sort of thing, and if you're unsure or whatever, see your captains straight away, or see them now. Hopefully, ideally ask beforehand, but chat to those captains, sort that out. In terms of attacking today's workout, 10-minute time cut. Well, actually, I haven't gone with the workout. You've probably already seen it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then back down 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deadlifts first, and then bar facing burpee in that order that we covered. But it's going to be a very different workout for a lot of different people. That 100 or 70 for some people is sort of like they can do 20 in a row at that weight. For some people, it's like a heavy single or a heavy 2 or 3. So you've got to, first of all, that strength element, you've got to recognize that. And if that's something heavy, then breaking it down into small numbers, take your rest, chip away slowly, and make sure you're sort of moving well. If that's a weight you can move, then this workout's going to turn a little bit more sort of metabolic. Okay, so just because there's other people flying through, you've got to like, okay, well that's a heavy deadlift for me. I'm going to have to do it a little bit differently to how Wasey's doing it or whatever. The burpee, I think, there's some people that are super fast at burpees, but even like seeing, a few people do this already, they do sort of slow down. But I think the main thing with these is like doing them deliberately and consistently, like just bouncing through 3, then stopping. It's going to sort of jack that heart rate. Just trying to move at like a consistent pace, get to that number. You're never going to have to do them more than 10 in a time until the next round. But we generally cover that sequence of the bar facing burpee that get out there and practice it. We generally cover this every single time. But chest and thighs down. If you can jump down, I think that's beneficial because it's like less time on your arms, less loading through your legs. Step 1, step up the other foot. Then we've got a little jump over the bar and then back down. But on the next time, just alternate. So the other leg comes up first, then the other one. Then if we can get a little jump and twist, it tends to work pretty well. One thing I actually missed in the standards for the burpee is there's a line down the middle. So I've set up all the lanes with lines. When you're down on the ground, so we can't be perpendicular or whatever on an angle. As we go down, so the bar here, there'll be a line. One hand or one arm and one leg must be either side of the line. So the sort of line's dissecting you like that. So if you're doing a burpee and the line's on your hand, that'll be a no rep. Okay, so even if your bar moves slightly, you can fix that up whenever, but you can still jump over one side of the line. Just make sure the line is going down the middle of you, okay? Yeah. How are we tracking, team? Any other questions on standards, or was anyone not here last week or not know the little three group system? The first 3 heats, get them done, keep moving through, then we'll switch it out. We've got heaps of gear outside here to warm up with a little bit too. But yeah, in terms of barbell loading, we've got the warm up there. Actually, I'll probably move that inside. We've got the same as last week. Easy. The first thing is 4 minutes echo, 3 minutes row, 2 minutes ski, easy. And then we're getting a little bit more specific. But if you want your own bars for loading, we'll keep them on the far side. You can put them wherever. But this sort of side near the windows where everyone can see, where the lines on the ground, they're going to be the actual lanes where we heat. So same as last week, whatever lane, there's no allocated lanes, you can go wherever you want. Just obviously make sure you've got the barbell. But we do have allocated judges. So the person in your lane, that's who's judging. Just so we can know who they are, sort it out beforehand. The scorecards are on the clipboards in the lane. Put them away. Don't take the scorecard, like the clipboard, just take your sheet, sign it off, put the scorecard and the pen back down for the next person, then we don't have to run around chasing all night.
So is it the same as last week, where like 3 judges one judges 2?
Yep, same as last week, yeah. So heat 3, you'll be judging heat 1 first, and then, sweet, easy. It's all up there. Alrighty, crew, so we'll give it about, hopefully that group 1, I've seen them warming up a bit. We'll give you about 10 minutes or so, then we're going to get this